For the first time in 50 years, NASA plans to send humans back to the moon. The first step towards that goal takes place Monday with the launch of an unmanned rocket and the beginning of the Artemis program. And today, we're taking you behind the scenes inside Artemis's mission control at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston.
CBS 13's Mark Strassman sat down with the lead flight director there to talk about the historic mission and what's at stake.
This is all brand new to us, everything.
Rick LeBrode works every day to give America the moon. Now 60, he's the Artemis I lead flight director, the guy in the hot seat, guiding NASA's most ambitious lunar mission in a half-century.
We got to have a successful flight before we put the astronauts on the next mission. Otherwise, you're not putting astronauts on the next mission.
You can practice all you want to go to the moon, but the launch is game time.
It's going to be very different. And, you hear the pucker factor. It'll be there.
We met LeBrode inside Artemis Mission Control at the Johnson Space Center. In nearly 4 decades with NASA, he's helped assemble the International Space Station and served as flight director for the Space Shuttle program.
Analysis has cleared us for 4 ohms burns.
But no one working on Artemis I, not LeBrode, not anyone on his team, has ever worked on a moonshot.
I mean, we were alive, a lot of us, last time we put boots on the moon, but we were very young.
Apollo 17, December 1972. Astronaut Gene Cernan's boot prints were the last left in lunar dust. Budget issues and fading public interest put an end to the Apollo moon missions and closed the book on one of mankind's great achievements until now.
Where do you start? You just dust off the old Apollo manuals?
A lot of our guys did.
LeBrode took us up 1 floor to the stage of so much space history, the iconic Apollo Mission Control Room.
It's just amazing to see the technology and what we were able to do with it.
In here, the United States beat the Soviets to the moon using rotary dial phones and slide rules.
When you look at old footage of the Apollo era, what jumps out at you?
Bermuda's green.
Well, it's always interesting to see people smoking in mission control. We don't do that anymore.
Banana Reef, Houston Network, Net 1.
But, there's a lot of similarities. It's a laser focus. The flight control team, they will do whatever it takes to get it done. That part hasn't changed even the slightest bit.
Launching on top of the most powerful rocket NASA's ever built, Artemis I will send a capsule called Orion on a trajectory to the moon. Orion will fly within 60 miles of the lunar surface, then push 40,000 miles beyond the moon for space high drama, its glimpse back on Earth. After orbiting the moon, Orion will re-enter Earth's atmosphere for the mission's Priority 1 test, whether the capsule's heat shield can withstand temperatures of 5,000 degrees, about half as hot as the surface of the sun.
I mean, it's coming back at some ridiculous speeds. I think it's 11.6 kilometers per second.
25,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it gets really, really hot. We got to make sure that's going to support the reentry.
If Artemis I succeeds, it would pave the way for human flights to the moon, including a lunar landing later this decade.
Yeah, all of it's
Fun to
amazing.
think about. Yeah.
All of it is just amazing to watch. And the Artemis I mission is scheduled to launch Monday morning, 5:33 our time.